This is a great honor for every fan of the Dallas Cowboys. I'm honored to be in the NFL.
What can I say? Mamba out.
What's going on, everyone? It's your 4 resident Dodgers haters here on the afternoon show. It's Chris and Tony Gonzalez, myself, Logan Landers, and of course, the man above me, Foxborough Frankie C. Here, of course, for your Friday edition of the afternoon show. We have a lot to get through today. Of course, we're talking NFL divisional round. We're going to give our thoughts, our predictions. Frankie, I already know you've got yours 50-0 for your boys out there in Foxborough. We're going to be talking some baseball, free agent news, how we all hate the Dodgers, how Kyle Tucker's a traitor, so on and so forth. And of course, we're talking a little bit of Super Bowl, getting y'all ready for that. We're going to try to guess. Tony found a list, so we're going to try and pick the top 5 greatest Super Bowls of all time, according to NFL.com. So all of that and then some here packed into an hour-long show here on the Elite Sports Entertainment Network. If you enjoy the show, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Easy to do. Just find us here on all of our respective channels and go to our link tree in the description. You can find all of our amazing shows here on the network. We go live each and every single week. And once again, we thank you for the continued support. So, without that further ado, OG Tony, what do we got up first, my friend?
Hey, let's jump right into it, to the Saturday playoff games in the NFL. Let's go to game 1. That's going to be at 4:30 p.m. on Saturday. It's the Buffalo Bills at the Denver Broncos. I'll tell you what, guys, I think all 4 of these games are going to be good games. I think any of these 8 teams could win. I think it's going to be interesting to see how the Bills come out at Denver in that altitude. Chris, what are you thinking about this game? Who's going to win it?
Yeah, it's going to be a good game. Denver's defense is good. Buffalo's defense has been playing better over the last 4 or 5 weeks. Since they got Milano back, that's helped them a little bit against the run. They still struggled some against the run last week against Jacksonville, but they also still have Josh Allen on the other side of the ball. That's seemed to have been able to put the team on his back. I think it's going to be a real good game. I'm leaning toward the Bills here, just because I trust the Bills' offense a little more than I do Denver's offense. Seems like Bo Nix at times can't do nothing for 3 quarters, and then they try to turn it on in the 4th. And I think if that happens in this game, they could be in trouble. I also think the bye week could be a little bit of a factor too, since the Bills did get to play last week. Sometimes teams are a little rusty coming off that bye. Sometimes teams aren't, so we've seen it go both ways. But yeah, I'm gonna favor the Bills here. I think this game is going to come down to the end, probably a 3-point game.
Okay, and Logan, what were you thinking?
I think this would be a good matchup. 2 teams pretty evenly matched a little bit. This is going to be a home game for Denver, which we know that they've had an impressive 8-1 record on the season. Hell, Denver was able to dethrone the Chiefs this past year and taking the West. So, a season where I thought they'd be good, but I didn't think they would be as good as they were, right? And for Denver, as Chris mentioned, a good point there, they've looked a little bit stagnant at times, especially when it comes to offense, but we know that their defense is – we have a lot of really good defenses in really just all the playoffs here. And Denver is some of the best. But with Buffalo, the main thing people are going to point out, of course, and they have kind of all season, is they don't have a true number 1 receiver in that sense. They have a lot of guys who contribute in multiple ways. They have an effective running game as well with James Cook, who's had a really good, impressive year. Of course, you have Josh Allen, a guy who's cook home MVPs, and he can get it done. However, as we've said for how many years in this current incarceration of the Buffalo Bills, they just fail in the playoffs, man. They just can't get over the bump. And it was like that in the 90s. And I don't know if, Tony, if that's any on your Super Bowl list and the Bills and their 3 tries and 3 losses. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think that Buffalo can pull it out in this one. It's going to be tough, though, because, like I said, it's going to be in Denver on the road. Cold weather ain't going to be a factor for either of these teams. They're both used to it. So it ain't like it's the Rams, who we'll talk about later. But I think I will go the Buffalo Bills in this matchup here. I'll go with the close one. I'll go with 7-point ball game, though. So I think the overall, the Denver Broncos going to put up a hell of a fight. But in the end, I like Josh Allen in clutch time a little bit more, so I'll go with him.
Yeah, and Frankie, kind of know what your take is or have an idea, but what are you thinking in this game?
I'm going Denver. I'm gonna go opposite the route, and it's not because I don't want to play Buffalo. I would love to play Buffalo for a third time and smoke them. But I just feel like the reason why Buffalo isn't gonna win is like what Chris said. Their defense is slowly starting to turn it around at the perfect time. But now their offense has taken some hits. They got Gabe. Gabe is going to be out. Gabe Davis is out for the rest of the year. He's on torn ACL, and then they also got another wide receiver who's out with the torn ligament in his leg as well. So Josh Allen is going to be down two of his top wide receivers. I get it. He got Brandon Cooks, and he can spread the ball around. But when you got big targets like that are out against this Denver's defense, who's led by Sean Payton, I think it's going to be tough for Josh Allen to find some way to try and drive this ball into a close game. I do think it's going to be a close game because I never ruled out Josh Allen, kind of like you never ruled out Patrick Mahomes or anything like that, because it's Josh Allen. He's a great, phenomenal quarterback. I hate that he's with the Bills. I like him as a player. I just don't like the team he plays for. I do hope that we get a good game out of this, but because it's at Mile High, we know how tough it is for other players and other teams to go to Denver and try and win at Denver. It's going to be real tough for Josh Allen and the Bills with like I said, with two wide receivers out. It's going to be really tough. So I feel like this game has to come down to Buffalo's defense for this win. And if they don't show up for this game, I think Denver is going to take this and head to the AFC Championship game. And I get what Chris said. Bye week, look out for that one as well. Bye week always sometimes it helps a team and sometimes it ruins a team. So I'm hoping that it can ruin them, but then again, I think it's going to help them out as well.
Yeah, I think I'm going with the Bills. I think their defense has played better, and Denver's offense can be up and down. So I think their defense will be okay. I think the big key for the Bills is the offensive line. They got to protect Allen a little bit, and they got to let Cooks run let the running back run the football. I think if they can get that done, I think they're going to be have a good chance. So I'm going to go with the Bills, but I think a close game, 3 or 4 points. Let's move on to the next one. San Francisco at Seattle. 8 o'clock start time on Saturday night. Frankie, what are you thinking about this one?
Yeah, I like this game. It kind of sucks that George Kittle is not going to be there. He obviously wasn't there for Week 18, but now he's definitely not there with a torn Achilles. It kind of sucks. But Kyle Shanahan has been pulling magic out of a bunny hat for some odd reason. I don't know what's going on, but he's been losing players left and right, yet they're still winning left and right. Backups, third strings, it don't matter. He's getting it done defensively and offensively. And I think just because they lost Week 18, they lost the number 1 seed, they lost the road to the Super Bowl in their home stadium, which is the Super Bowl is at Levi Stadium, so they could have had a clear path to playing at home and never having to travel at all this playoff. I think they're a little pissed about that, and I think they're going to come out with fire this game because in Week 18 they just disappeared. They was nowhere to be found. I don't know what happened to San Fran, but I think this time they're going to get it their heads out of their asses, and they're going to win this ball game. And this is the game right here where Chris mentioned with the Broncos having a week off. I think this is the game right here with the Seattle Seahawks. I think this is where they have that hiccup bye week where they're going to be one and done after having a bye week because Sam Darnold's not healthy. I heard that he's something wrong with his body. He's not healthy. So we'll see how that works out. And I don't trust in Sam Darnold in the playoffs like he did with Minnesota last year. I think Seattle's going to lose this game, and I think the 49ers are going to take it and head to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, I keep going back and forth on this game. I think the key for me is San Francisco's offensive line again, and the other key, because they couldn't get him going last game, McCaffrey. McCaffrey's got to have a good game for him. He's their biggest weapon. And Purdy's got to play clean, no turnovers. But I think San Francisco's going to pull a little bit of upset here. So I'm going with San Francisco also. Logan?
Yeah, this is like the bubble bowl. I say that because of the amount of injuries on both sides right now. You mentioned Frankie with Darnold. He's dealing with an oblique injury, and he's questionable. But look, the dude's going to play. You know what I mean? It's not like he's snapped his femur or he's got two broke legs or whatever. He's fine. He'll be there. He might not be as effective, but for me, the key to victory if you're Seattle is you have to limit turnovers. We know Sam Darnold, as good of a year as he is prone to throw interceptions, as we know. So if he can keep it clean, I think they have a good shot. I like Kenneth Walker. I think he's a really good, reliable running back. Jackson Smith and Jibba as well on the outside as a wide receiver. Really good talent there, good deep ball threat. And we already know we've talked a lot about Seattle's defense and how it is just top notch. They have a lot of solid players on that side of the ball. And meanwhile, for 49ers fans, it hurts as well if they lost George Kittle. Well, I mean, they lost him last week. And whenever he went down, a lot of people thought that was going to be it for them in that game. But like you said, Kyle Shanahan and company, they managed to find a way to win. Brock Purdy had a good game. Christian McCaffrey, we know what he can do. The only thing that worries me about the 49ers is really since they all season for the most part, and of course we know they have injuries over there as well. They had guys last week. They had Eric Kendricks had just been signed, and he was one of their best players on the side that last week. And they've had issues getting to the quarterback, getting sacks, applying pressure most of the season. So I think for that reason, I feel like if Seattle can play a good, clean ball game, if Darnold can limit the turnovers, then I think they can get ahead of this one. And I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to be in there in Seattle. So I will go with the Seahawks winning this one. Like I said, they have a bye week, so that's always going to be in the back of your mind. Like you mentioned, Frankie, we saw it in college, and we'll see if it will continue in the NFL. Teams on that bye week, if they come out kind of lackadaisical, or if that extra week of rest is going to help. But for me, I'm going to go Seattle in this one. I'll go by 2 scores.
Okay. And Chris, what about you? Who you got?
Oh yeah, I think it's another one's going to be a good game. I agree with Frankie here. I like the 49ers. Only thing that worries me a little bit is not having Kittle, but Brock Purdy has stepped up the last couple of weeks with all the injured guys and has played well. And they've gotten some production, a lot of production out of Juwan Jennings as well. They need to get, I think they'll get Pearsall back. They didn't have him last week. The thing for them is going to be their defense. Their secondary has been good, but with all the injuries, they don't have they got to manufacture a pass rush. So I think they're going to come out and try to blitz probably quite a bit. But Darnold, I'd already still didn't trust Darnold 100%. And now with the injury, that makes me worry a little bit more. I think it's going to be a low score. I think it's probably going to be a low scoring game, more of a defensive battle. And I think 49ers are going to pull it off with probably a 3-point game, one possession. I think it's going to be a 1 possession game either way, no matter who wins. But I think 49ers are going to pull it off.
Okay, guys, next up, Houston at New England, Sunday at 3 p.m. Logan, what are you thinking about this one?
Hey, Frankie, you guys got a hell of a ball club out there in New England, my friend. We talked about it all year, the regular season turnaround. Jay will always say that Sarman Shaw schedule, but hey, you work with what you got. And for New England, they had a tremendous performance all season. Drake May, potential MVP. We'll find out here in a few weeks if that is the case, if he's going to take home some hardware or not. But, y'all are a good ball club all around, right? Offense, defense, special teams, you check the boxes in all those regards. Your kicker did some good work for me in fantasy this past year, so I appreciate that matchup. New England, good. They're covered on pretty much all sides of the ball. And when you look at the other side, we look at Houston. Houston earlier in the year and kind of a little bit toward the end, their defense is good, right? They do have a very solid defense, but their offense was at times ice cold. CJ Stroud, some rough games. They had issues as well, a little bit, some injuries here and there. I like Marks, the running back. He's had a kind of emergence here as of late. But for me, like I said, it's a really good defense in Houston. And I think that New England's going to be able to crack that defense with their good offense, good game plan. It's going to be too much. So to the delight of my friend, my fellow co-owner here of the channel, Frankie C. Boys in Foxborough moving on this weekend. I'll go by 2 scores once again for New England.
Okay. And Chris, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is another one's going to be a good game. Patriots are 3-point favorites at home. Patriots really impressed me last week with their defense. Their defense impressed me in that first playoff game against the Chargers. I think, in my opinion, the defense won them that game. Not the offense was terrible, but May was a little up and down at the beginning of the game and then found his rhythm. but that defense, man, all day long just beat the holy shit out of Justin Herbert. Texans have a real good defense. I trust the Patriots offense more than I do the Texans offense. Hell, we saw the Texans got lucky to win their first round game, turning the ball over. 5 fumbles by CJ Stroud. You're not going to fumble. You're not going to win a game against a team like the Patriots. They're not the Steelers. Their offense is a little more capable than what the Steelers' offense was. And a lot of people forget that was a 7-6 game going in the fourth quarter. I know its score ended up being a blowout, but that was a close game up until about 8 minutes left in that fourth quarter, and then it all just kind of went to hell for Pittsburgh. But no, I think Patriots win this game. I think it's going to be a 1-possession game. I think this could be a low-scoring game as well. But I think Patriots pull out the win. I think the Patriots defense could be the story of this game. Instead of everybody talking about the Texans defense, I think this could be the Patriots defense could be the story of the game.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you guys. I like Houston a lot, like their defense, but their offense, I just don't think it's going to play well enough in this weather and everything. I think New England wins this game by a touchdown. I'm just not sold on Houston's offense. I'm just not. So I'm going with New England in this one. Frankie?
You already know, baby. You already know. Drake, the MVP candidate.
Hey, Frankie's taking Jay's Houston Texans. I already know what Frankie's going to do.
Exactly.
Go on the upset. Okay.
This is amazing. This is like a storybook that's going to be a happy ending in my part and a sad ending for Joe and Jay. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. But listen, I've been saying it since the beginning, right? And Chris kind of hit it on the nail with our defense. This is the reason why. In the first 8 weeks of the season, if you guys don't remember, we've been stopping running backs. Running backs going to get more than 50 yards on us in the first 8 weeks because our defense was healthy. Then we started getting some people hurt little by little, and things started to change, right? We still kept winning, though, because we had that next man up. People love to play for Vrabel. I feel like and I said it multiple times, I feel like we're the most completed team in the NFL because we love playing for each other. We love playing for our coaches, not like how we were when we had Bill Belichick, right? Nobody didn't like to play for Bill because he's just such a hard ass. I think this time around, we're a complete team. We're a complete unit. Now, coming into the playoffs, our defense got fully healthy. And I said that, towards week 18, week 17, I was saying that to you guys, that our defense is going to get slowly healthier going into the playoffs. Milton Williams coming back. Look what he did to secure us the game last week against the Chargers, right? Robert Spillane coming back. Christian Gonzalez got hurt last week. He got put in the concussion protocol, but he's full participation this week in practice, so he'll be back for this game. So we're fully healthy again on defense, and that's what helped us. The offense, yes, I'm gonna give Drake May a little slide on offense because it was his first playoff game. And I feel like every rookie, not a rookie quarterback, but a young quarterback who hits the playoff game the first time has some butterflies in their stomach. But he got it done. I saw it in the beginning. It was a little hiccup, but then he got himself composed and he got himself back on that field, and he went out there and played the way I expected him to play. Different scenario with the Steelers, and I said this to you guys before we came on the show. We're not a pocket quarterback anymore with Tom Brady. The Steelers having Aaron Rodgers, he's a pocket quarterback guy. That's the old school quarterbacks. He's still in the old school rhythm of being a pocket quarterback. That's why the defense of Houston kept getting to him and kept sacking him, kept forced fumbling and stuff like that. Drake May is not a pocket quarterback. When he feels attacked and he feels the defense coming after him, he's going to look at some green grass and he's going to run. Don't matter how many yards that he gets. He could get 2 yards. He could get 3 yards. He's not going to be taking a sack. And if he does, it'll probably be like 1, 2, maybe 3 tops. Okay. He barely gets sacked a game. So I expect him to run the ball more. And I feel like our offense is more younger than, DK Metcalf and all these other guys. I feel like we can compete with this Houston team and this Houston defense. And I've been saying to Jay asked me last week, who would I want to face going into the divisional round? And I told him, I said, I wouldn't mind playing the Steelers because we lost to them in week 3. That would be a revenge game. But I want Texans because if we can beat that defense, I feel like my team will be able to, to get to the Super Bowl. because of that top defense, that number one defense in the Texans. We can compete with anyone. So I kind of like this matchup, and I kind of like what Joe said right here. He goes, I got Texans. That defense is no match for the Patriots offense. Well, if you know what you were saying, sir, I agree with you. That defense is no match for my offense. So good job
There we
saying
go.
that, Joe. I absolutely appreciate it. You're you could go and pick your Texans, but you're giving my team some compliment. I wish I could see Chris's face right now. I know what he's doing behind camera. I know what he's doing. He's playing catch up. If you guys know me and Chris, what catch up is, I know what he's doing. But I wish I could see his face because Chris would be laughing right now at this because it's just I got the Texans. That defense is no match for the Patriots offense. That's absolutely well put. I agree with you. They are not no match for this offense. You're gonna see on Sunday at 3:00, baby. You're gonna see. And Drake May, listen. Drake May has been playing against tough defense this year, and I feel like everybody, because of our schedule, you guys aren't looking at it right. You know, I mean, we beat the Bills defense, we beat Atlanta's defense. Atlanta's got a good defense. Cincinnati's got a good defense. I mean, we played pretty good defenses this year. This is the defense that we have to go out and show the world that we are not a fluke team. And I said it. If we can go out there and beat this team, I can guarantee that my team will be competitive to make it to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying they're gonna go to the Super Bowl. Logan, don't look at me with that look. I don't mind. I'm not sitting here from like 5 years ago with Tom Brady on my shoulders, being okay and saying, yeah, we're gonna go to the goddamn Super Bowl, Logan. Now I'm just sitting here and I'm gonna tell you guys, if we could beat this defense, I have confidence that my team can make it there. But fuck Jay, fuck Joe, fuck Texans, go Pats, let's go Drake May, MVP.
Having Joe here is just like having Jay here. I mean, we don't miss Jay at all.
And what's crazy is we can't even say Jay Biden. Like his name is actual Joe, so he is a Joe Biden right now.
Yeah. Guys, let's move on to the next game. It's the Rams at Chicago. That'll be Sunday night at 6:30 p.m. Man, is Chicago going to do it again? They're going to pull another one out their butt? I don't think so. Even though I think the Rams might have some struggles in the weather a little bit, it's supposed to be pretty nasty. I just think the Rams are a better football team. Unless Chicago can get some turnovers and get Stafford in some trouble, I'm going with the Rams. Chris, what do you think?
Yes, I think this is going to be another game that could be a good game. But this is a game for me. The Bears are going to have to get off to a quicker start. If the Bears get down 21-0 like they did to the Packers, or 17-0, whatever it was, like they did last week to the Packers, I don't see them coming back on the Rams like that. I thought the Packers' second half strategy was terrible. You had that big lead, and instead of playing to win, you kind of played not to lose. Got a little conservative. You get a team down, you got to put your foot on their throat and choke them out. You don't let them back in the game. I just think the Rams are the better team here. I think it's probably going to be a close game, especially being in Chicago. But I'm going with Matthew Stafford and the Rams. They have more experience. I think they got a little bit more complete team than Chicago does, and I think Chicago's on defense. The key for them is they're going to have to get turnovers. That's what they rely on. They have trouble getting off the field on third down if they don't get a turnover. So I think that's going to be big if the Rams don't turn the ball over. I think they have a real good shot winning this game. So I'm going to go with the Rams.
Okay, and Frankie, what do you think?
I want to go with the Rams so bad, but because of the weather is going to be a huge factor, and we've seen Matthew Stafford and how he plays in the weather. Like, he does not play good in cold weather. He really doesn't. I want to pick the Bears so bad, but I'm going to go with the Rams because the Bears just beat Matt LaFleur, and it didn't look good at the end with Ben Johnson running up, not even wanting to, you could see it in his face. He did not want to go for that handshake. And he said it many times. He does not like Green Bay. This is a guy who coached the Lions. He's the head coach offensive coordinator for the Lions, and now he's head coach in the Bears. You can definitely tell he hates the Packers. And there's one guy that no one is naming in the Rams that we should be looking at, and that's Matt LaFleur's brother, offensive coordinator Mike LaFleur. I feel like he's gonna have Matthew Stafford in this offense, turn it around, and just like, listen, we're gonna double down. And the Rams are not gonna be anything like the Packers. If they have that lead, they're gonna keep that lead. Sean McVay knows how to keep a lead. I feel like he's gonna keep that lead I'm going to go with the Rams on this one. The weather factor, Tony, scares me. It really does because Matthew Stafford does not play well in the cold. I'm talking about like this is going to be like 8-degree weather. It's going to feel like negative 20. We're going to have crazy wind chill. I mean, it's going to be crazy in Chicago. Part of me want to pick Chicago because of that reason, but I feel like their luck. You know, like my boy Jay Storms always says, sorry about your damn luck because Chicago, your luck is run out, and the Rams are going to win this game.
Okay. And Logan, what are you thinking?
This is an interesting one, right? Because you look at LA, and obviously they're going into the frigid cold weather, which that never seems to fare well for any, especially West Coast team, right? Because weather's always beautiful out there. Go to the north, you go, Green Bay, Chicago, wherever the hell it may be, Denver, and they seem to struggle. Matt Stafford, though, he's been around a time or two. We know he's one of the older players in the league. Still put up tremendous numbers. I mean, the fact that he's in MVP conversations, 15 years after the fact is impressive. So it's kind of the old guard battle number 1 overall picks with Stafford back in 2009, and we know Williams just 2 seasons ago. You got Chicago, right, who had just maybe one of the biggest moments we're going to see in these playoffs in terms of just how they were able to come back and will their way to victory after like they were dead. I mean, it was super impressive. A great win against a big rival as well. If they get knocked out this week, they still have a lot to hang their hat on. I feel a lot to improve on, especially when you look at how poorly they did last season. Credit to Ben Johnson and company, as we've all said, but it might not be over. It's tough to tell though, because with LA, they're just a stingy team. You know what I mean? They are solid all around. Matt Stafford's great, as we know. They have a tremendous defense on that side of the ball. But also we have a good fact here from Joe. He's saying Matt Stafford played in Chicago and he was in Detroit, so he knows how to play in the stadium, the cold weather. That is a good factor. Like I say, he's been around the block a time or two. But
hold on, Logan. Hold on, Logan.
Go ahead.
That's the most stupidest shit ever. Was Matthew Stafford a winner in Detroit, Joe? Because I remember him being a loser. I remember him being part of the first ever 0-15 team. And clearly, you have to go to Chicago. Clearly, he went there. Clearly, it was cold. And clearly, he lost. So, I mean, that don't mean shit that he played for Detroit and he played in Chicago. Did he win there? No. Detroit was ass under Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford wasn't ass, but the Lions were ass. Look, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. That's just he's coming up with dumb things today for some reason. He's like, it's like we have a day without Jay, but Jay's still here for some odd reason.
Yeah, that's what I said.
He's here in spirit. But I'll go with the Rams in this one. I'll go kind of the older vets in this. And kind of an upset in a way, I guess you can say, with the weather and whatnot. But I mean, this is a good team, right? Sean McVay, he's done it before. This team won the championship a couple of seasons ago, so he knows how to get past everything, move on. The hell is cold weather games? What does that classify as?
Cold weather
Glenn,
games. Chicago,
what's your staff for? Glenn, what is your
He's
staff for
he's
cold
two
weather
and
games?
two. He's 2-2 in games under 20 degrees. So I don't know where the 1 and 9 comes from. But games under 20 degrees, he's 2-2 in his career.
That he must be looking at those Detroit numbers to go back to college. I got no clue.
We really don't know what Glenn is really looking at. I mean, he could be looking at the phantom of a Colt fan, or he could be looking at the phantom of being a Cowboys fan.
He's a Bear fan now. He's a Bears fan now.
Well, I know he shaved his head the other day, so he's unlocked a whole new part of his brain. So I think that might be what happened there. So
wait, Glenn's a Bears fan?
I'll go with the Rams in this one.
He was talking last night. He said, "Bear down. Let's go Bears."
God. He's just cursed.
He's already got his Caleb Williams jersey en route. Is that coming? Yep. He's getting rid of Anthony Richardson one.
And what's up, Hank? Nice to see you guys in here.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, got a couple of independent pro wrestlers in here. Comment.
There we go. Appreciate it, fellas.
Guys, one real quick one thing. McVay is 0-2 in Chicago. Playing at Chicago, he's 0-2. This one quick little fact. But talking about these 8 teams wanting to go to the Super Bowl. Let's talk about the greatest Super Bowls of all time. We got the top 5. Get each one of you a guess and see what you come up with. Let's go with Logan first. What do you think number one on the list is?
Much to the chagrin of everyone behind me, everyone in the state of Georgia, and much to the love of Frankie, I'll go with the Atlanta Falcons and New England Patriots from their Super Bowl 28-3. Is that number one?
No, it's not number one, but it is number 4.
What
Okay,
the
so we're in the
shit?
top. Hey, you
that
made
one
the
is-
top 5, Frankie. You made the top 5. All right.
That one is number 4 on the list. That was Super Bowl 51, I believe. That was
Okay,
number
okay.
4. Okay, Chris, let's give you a guess.
Unbelievable. You're going with what?
You're
I'm
muted,
gonna go
Chris.
with what I think is the best Super Bowl because it's the first one. It's actually also the first one I remember watching. The 49ers and Bengals with the Joe Montana comeback. I think it was 85 or something like that. 85, 86, somewhere around there.
I was shocked that was not in the top 5.
That's not in the top 5?
No.
Wow.
See?
Wow,
This
man,
is some
okay.
bullshit.
Okay, Frankie. This is from NFL.com.
That's the game that made me a football fan. It really
I
really
remember.
is. Like I said, that's the first game I really remember.
Do you remember where we watched, Chris? Do you remember where we watched that at?
I do not.
At Grandpa's house
Nope.
in Mexico.
but the bowling alley.
That's bowling.
We were bowling.
I remember watching it. I remember what.
Yep, we were bowling. Okay. Okay.
Appreciate it, Jerry.
Frankie, what do you think number one is?
What the hell is he talking about?
I'll say, who was he the OC for? The OC for the Falcons was Kyle Shanahan.
And the OC for the Patriots was Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, I think he's.
I don't know where I got LaFleur from.
Yep.
Anyway, oh man, let's see. I'm gonna say Chiefs 49ers round 2 a couple years ago.
Chiefs and 49ers are not on here.
Good.
Okay.
Okay, let's give Logan another guess.
All right. And also we'll throw these comments out here in a minute. We've gotten a few here from Joe and from Jeremy. I'll get those here in just a second. For me, I'm going to go back to, I believe it was 99 or 2000. We're going to go with the St. Louis Rams and Tennessee Titans with that end of the game, stuffed them on the 1-yard line.
That is not on there.
Oh man. Okay. Good
No,
ending.
I'm gonna give you one. I'm gonna give you number 5, guys.
Wait, let me
Number
have another
5.
guess.
Okay, I'll give all of you.
Everybody have 2
I'll
guesses.
give all of you 2 guesses.
Let's
and
go
then I'll give
one more
or
round.
2.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with the Giants beating the Patriots in the Super Bowl to end keep them from being the undefeated team.
You want me to go to your
Helmet
house?
catch.
You want me to go to your house?
That is number 2 on the list.
Bullshit.
Super Bowl
Nice work,
42.
Chris. Okay.
This is really. I need to write. I need to write NFL fucking letter.
Hey, it's all right. It's all right. Let's see. Frankie, how about you give one more and then we'll go to our comment section. We'll see if those are on there.
Yeah.
Saints, Colts.
Good one.
Not on there.
Is that the one you mentioned? Is that the one you mentioned, Chris? Oh, okay.
No, I was just laughing because that's the one where the Saints done the onside kick at halftime.
Yeah.
Fuck the game.
All
you
right, so
said
Tony,
you had
before you reveal it here, let's see if anyone in our comments is able to guess them. So Joe chiming in saying Dallas and Buffalo from '93.
That is not on there.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
All right.
That's the 2 most.
And
ugliest
I know
teams.
this one probably won't. I think this was just to jab at Frankie, but Jeremy chimes in and says 85 Bears destroying the Pats.
That is not on there.
No, I think that one, Logan. He was talking about the offensive coordinator thing.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, that makes sense. He's got Jeremy's got Bears and Colts from was that 06?
Nope. That's not on there.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
nothing
right.
with Colts in it is going to be in there. Nothing.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna make the top 10.
It's not in the top 5. I'll give you
Okay.
guys number 5, and then we'll go another round.
Okay, what's
Number
up?
5 on the list was Super Bowl 25. The Giants defeating Buffalo 20-19.
That's
Okay,
stupid.
good game.
The fact that Buffalo's even in the list.
So what's left is number 3 and number 1 is what's left on the list.
Okay. I'm kind of stuck between two, so I'll go with my first gut instinct. We'll go back to, I believe, 2017. Philadelphia Eagles, New England Patriots, Nick Foles with the Cinderella story, giving Philadelphia their first Super Bowl.
Y'all really want to piss me off today.
It's a
That-
damn
that
good
one-
game. What do you want?
That one is not on there.
Oh, come. Tom Brady threw for 500 in that.
How
one, I believe.
how about Patriots Rams 2001?
Patriots and Rams is not on there.
All right, this
Chris.
NFL shit needs to stop.
Patriots and Seahawks. The
Stop mentioning my team.
The Butler interception.
That is number
Y'all-
3.
Oh, okay. So we just need number
all
one.
right. All right.
So we still
Oh,
have
man.
number 1 left, guys.
All right, we gotta keep going to this one, boys.
Give you
let's
another
go for
round.
the.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll go with the old heads here. Joe Willie Namath, Super Bowl III, calling a shot.
That is not there.
Jets didn't make it. Oh, hey, the
Let me
Jets
ask
didn't
you
win.
this,
Oh well.
Tony. The number 1 Super Bowl on the list, is it a close game or is it a blowout game?
It's a close game.
Okay.
Okay.
Chris.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to go with the Cardinals and Steelers when James Harrison got the
I was gonna say that.
99 or 100
Oh, that's a
yard
good one. Yeah.
reception return.
Not on there.
Damn.
Oh man.
Joe says
Damn.
Steelers versus Cowboys.
That is correct. Super
Oh,
Bowl
there we go.
13.
I shouldn't have even
Super
put it
Bowl-
up there. He fucking looked it up.
Super Bowl 13. Pittsburgh
What
35. Dallas 31. That was number 1.
That's
That
number
was a good
one.
game.
Wow. Okay.
Wait,
Man.
who won that one?
Pittsburgh 35-31.
All right, good. That's cool. All right. I wish Jay was here so that way we could rub it in Jay's face. Like, yeah,
But-
your team's number 1, but they're on the
but-
losing
but-
side of number 1.
We're not.
But Frankie, your team was on there 3 times.
Yeah, 2
Hey,
for winning
that's
and
impressive.
1 for losing.
Yeah,
That's how good we are.
yep, that's true. Okay, guys,
all right.
that was pretty good. Let's switch over to some baseball talk. Had a couple of big moves over the last 24 hours or so. Kyle Tucker signed with the Dodgers, 4-year, $240 million deal to go to the Dodgers, and Bo Bichetti signed with the Mets. He signed a 3-year deal worth $126 million. Now, this was an interesting thing to me. Here's the numbers for Tucker. Tucker played 136 games last year, batted .266, 22 home runs, 73 RBIs, 133 total hits. Bichette played 139 games, 3 more games. His batting average was .311, 18 home runs, 94 RBIs, and 181 hits. Man, I think they really overpaid for Tucker. If you're just comparing those two numbers, I think they really overpaid for Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, I
that's
mean,
just
I
my
understand
opinion.
why they did it, obviously. I mean, look, he was one of the best free agents out there, especially in the outfield market. And I mean, look, there were talks pretty much all off season that he was probably going to be dipping from Chicago. I know there were a couple other teams kind of involved, maybe to try to get his services, but ultimately, hey, he went with the one that broke the bank account. And hell, how could you not for 4 years, 240 with I believe it was 30 million deferred around that range, and he had a $64 million signing bonus. So just for putting pen to paper, here's $64 million. Enjoy it, Kyle. He does have now MLB record. $57.1 million average annual value, which breaks the Juan Soto one from the other year when he signed with New York. So Kyle Tucker is now the highest paid annual player in baseball per season, which I think, look, and I think Kyle Tucker obviously is an elite player. There's no question about that. He's put up good numbers throughout his whole career, but I don't believe he deserves to be the richest man in baseball each year. And I know technically it's Otani, but the fact he's making $3 million a year for 14
Yeah.
years and it's all backloaded, it is what it is. And as much as I hate the Dodgers for doing this, there's no rule saying they can't. So they don't mind paying this luxury tax. They'll gladly do it. Looking to get another World Series. We've already talked before about who all they've already signed. I guess the real question is who's next for him. Meanwhile, for Bo Bichette, we were talking to Frankie before the show kicked off, and we both agreed that, John, you wish the Yankees would have got him because we know that shortstop especially was a weak spot for that franchise in the New York Yankees last year. We know all of the errors that were made, all the boos that were there each and every single day, it felt like, in New York. But you would have loved to get a young player in Bo Bichette, guy who's getting into his prime now. And I think for New York, if you're the Mets, I mean, I think at this point you're in a way starting to build around this young core of Juan Soto, of course, who's still there for eternity, and Bichette. So you have your outfield and you have your infield kind of star player set. And the Mets really needed this because when you lost Pete Alonso, you lost a guy who's hitting you anywhere from 30 to 50 bombs a year, 100 plus RBIs. I mean, it's hard to duplicate that. So you get Bichette, who, like I said, he'll get you 20 plus home runs a season. He'll get on base. He'll draw walks. He can do everything you need him to. He's a great defender also. And now you just kind of start rebuilding that bullpen. When you lost Diaz, you can always add up to starting pitching, who I know they spent some money on before. But, before they signed Bichette, it looked like New York is going to be, not super competitive this year, just on paper. But now with them signing Bo Bichette, it tells me that they are going to keep trying. They're not just going to, lay down and give up this year. I also saw that the Philadelphia Phillies re-signed JT Realmuto, their catcher, for a couple of seasons. So he's staying put there. So the NL East is starting to shape up a little bit. And poor Marlins fans, is all I can say. No, they're just going to keep getting beat over the head.
Yep, you're probably right. Chris, your take on these couple of moves.
I mean, Tucker's a good pickup for the Dodgers. He's a heck of a player. I do think they've overpaid for him a little bit, but that's what happens when you're one of the top free agents. Somebody usually overpays for you. He's only 28 years old, so he's still pretty young. So, I think it's a real good pickup. I really like the Bo Bichette pickup by the Mets. So he's 27 years old, and the Mets got second in that division last year behind the Phillies. But if you remember right, the Mets was in the lead of that division for a little while last year, and then they kind of fell apart. I think with getting Soto and then last year and then adding Bichette, I think it's a good move. One question I have is, why are all these big free agents choosing the Mets over the Yankees all of a sudden? The last couple of years, you had Soto leave the Yankees to go to the Mets. Now Bichette's going to the Mets. It seems like some of the bigger free agents are going to the Mets here the last few years instead of the Yankees.
Yeah, that's true.
In New York,
Yankees used to be the go-to place, and of course Dodgers with the money. I understand that, but the Mets, that's true.
Especially in New York. I mean, usually the Yankees will always get a big free agent over the Mets. It just seems like here the last couple of years, the Mets have been able to get some of the big free agents.
Before we get out of here, Chris, I was going to ask you real quick about the Reds deal they made, getting rid of Lux and picking up a relief pitcher. Looked like a pretty good relief pitcher. Your take on that?
More I look at, I like it. They're trying to really stack up on the pitching staff, and if you look at all of our position players we have, I mean, you run out of room for guys. Lux had a pretty good year for us for his first year with us last year, but you're bringing up Sal Stewart, you're bringing up some of these young guys, and Spencer Steer healthy, McLean healthy. Like, you get all these guys healthy, it's just you run out of positions to actually play them at. So I think it was a good move. They got a good pitcher. They picked up another pitcher as well. So they're really trying to bolster that bullpen and get better there as well. So I think it's a pretty good move, and I like the the other move we made last week when we picked up that JJ Bludet. He's a good young player that I think will help us.
Do you think we make it back to playoffs next year?
I do. I think we have a real good chance of being back in the playoff. I think we could be a little bit better this year than we were last year. We just got. I think this year will be better for one. The team is used to Francona. At the beginning of the year, Francona was new manager with the Reds. He's great. I think he's a great manager. Don't get me wrong, but you had to learn his players. You had to learn your team. So I think as the year went on, you started to see him trusting players more and starting to figure out how to rotations and stuff. And I think this year that'll even be better and tighter because now he knows everybody. And last year we had some injuries at inopportune times that really hurt, especially to our pitching staff. I mean, at one time all of our starters was out. there we were pitching guys that you never heard of, and we were still right there. So
we still made the playoffs.
Wild card. So I think we'll have a good chance of at least being a wild card again this year. Hopefully we can compete for that division. We were in the running for that division most of the season last year, and then fell off there toward the end. So hopefully we can compete for the division. But I think we have a chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I like our pitching staff. If we stay healthy, I'm worried about our hitting. We really didn't get a big bat. I'm worried that if we're going to have enough hitting.
They think Sal Stewart's going to be that big bat.
Okay. We'll see.
He came in and played the last couple months, but if you remember, he was pounding the ball in the minor leagues, and even in the major league, when he first came up, was pounding the ball. He has a lot of power too. So I think they're hoping that he kind of turns into their power bat this year. This will basically be his first, basically like his rookie year.
Yeah. Logan, you got any thoughts on your Atlanta Braves?
We kind of kept quiet for the most part this year. We've made a couple of acquisitions, nothing kind of to break the bank, but kind of with the way the roster was set up, they didn't really need to. A lot of guys had either injuries last year or just down years. So, a lot of those guys already signed a multi-year contracts, are the core positions with Acuna, with obviously Albies, Spencer Strider, Chris Sale, et cetera, et cetera. So they didn't really need to make a big splashy move. They needed to shore up their shortstop position, which they did earlier in the offseason, kind of when it first kicked off with Ha-Seong Kim. So signed him. I think he'll be a reliable, better option this year than what we had last year with like Nick Allen and company. I think that's already a big addition. Also, like I said, they signed Robert Suarez from, I believe he was with the Los Angeles Angels for a little bit for the bullpen. They've done a lot of bullpen work, which that was their big flaw last year, was they had a horrible bullpen. Once you got to the fifth inning, it was always kind of a crapshoot if they were going to win, if they're going to hold on to leads. So you got Suarez, who's going to be kind of competing with Raisel Iglesias for the closer role, because Suarez used to be a closer for LA. So that tells me, like, hey, if Iglesias, who did struggle at points last year, if you start to blow saves, if you have some bad performances, we're not afraid to switch you out for that setup role. So that little bit of competition doesn't hurt. But no, like I said, not a whole lot of big splashy moves, but I kind of expected that going into the year. But I think that with the moves that they have made so far, that they are going to be back in the running. Hopefully those guys who had some bad years last year can turn it around and can do better on the stat sheet. But like I said, hopefully you think, new manager also, that's also important too. Brian Schnicker left. Yeah. So just kind of get a refresh and retool. But I'm excited though, because last year was pain. That sucked to watch. Just a team who you hope that they were going to go back to, win the division, go far in the playoffs. But guys got hurt left and right. The whole starting rotation, I know at some point was completely different than their opening day roster. Hey, we don't have seasons like that. You just got to go through them and grit your teeth. But hoping for a better year this year. We're fighting for a playoff spot.
Yep. Yeah. Be ready for some baseball. They'll be pretty soon, February, I think, the pitchers and catchers.
A little bit less than a month is till they report, and we're slightly over about a month away from when the first games kick off. So I'm excited for it. Ready to see how it's going to be going down in Florida.
Guys, you got anything before we get out of here?
One other thing I just want to mention, NCAA basketball, not for anything good right now. Obviously, there's a lot of good talent out there, but the recent point shaving scandal that just broke the other day where there was 20 plus players across 17, 18 schools. I think it's close to 40 players in total got hit with that. Boy, really just the state of college sports, let alone basketball, but collegiate sports. When you look at the main two factors here of college football and college basketball, you can couple them together with the NIL money, transfer portal, the betting, which, I know it's very controversial, but it's also kind of funny because you have all these guys getting hit for point shaving and for making these rules. But oh hey, here this ad break brought to you by FanDuel here at the stadium, or you get a free prop bet if you like our YouTube channel for whatever school you're with. But it's kind of muddied the waters for me, in that sense. And it sucks to see all of the various players at all these different schools. And like I said, these are D1 schools. These aren't, some no-name college you've heard of. These are schools I know, like Tulane and, Kennesaw State here in my backyard. And it's just unfortunate to see it happening at now this scale. And I think it's only going to get worse because we saw last year, in the NBA with Jonte Porter, Michael Porter's brother, got hit with that in the NBA. He got lifetime ban. We've seen it in college football as well. So the NCAA has to, kind of look in the mirror and figure some way to regulate all this, because it's been the Wild West, but each day it feels like it's getting more and more away from what it is. And this isn't really even college sports anymore. This is just minor league sports now at this point. Yeah. You go high school is the new college, and you go from that into the minor leagues, basically, is what it is. Because the kind of, you can say, purity, I guess, of college sports and all the kind of, behind the back deals that were made, the going to your grandma's house and give you some money that were done in the dark, are now just kind of in the light now. And it's unfortunate to see, but I saw that headline flash across the other day, and I wasn't honestly surprised with how everything's been going on. But that's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah, just several, at least a couple MAC schools. We live here in Muncie, Indiana, and I don't think Ball State was on the list, but the conference they play in, there was some MAC schools on that list and that point shaving thing. Well, Chris, you got anything before we get out of here?
No, just I agree with Logan that they need to do some stuff with college football with the transfer portal and stuff. But as far as the gambling, I think with the emergence of the online gambling with FanDuel and DraftKings, I actually think it's helped, because all this point shaving and all this stuff had been going on for years, but it was never caught. Mm-hmm. Now, with it being legalized and people trying to do it online, they're watching that, and they're catching these things that in the past wouldn't get caught. So I think that's why we see more of it. I don't think it's happening much more than it used to. I just think they're getting caught now because it's more out in the open, where it used to all be with the mafia and everything else.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, hey, all right. Guys, join us Monday. We'll have a big show. We'll be recapping the big. We'll be previewing the big college game for Monday, IU and Miami, and then we'll have a recap of all the NFL playoff games. So, also maybe some more baseball news. Maybe there'll be some more free agents. You never know. So, join us Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Can't wait till Monday night.
1 p.m. Central. Yep. Looking forward to it.
Yep. All right. Y'all take it easy. Be safe out there. Enjoy your weekends. Go watch some football. And, of course, be sure to check us out here, Lee Sports here in Denmark. And, of course, Gonzo Sports Room. Link to in the description. Check out all of our shows. Enjoy your weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday on